This is Hayes Q Jones, your DVD and Blu-ray baller on a budget, and this is HQ Videos for you. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're a current subscriber, what's up? You're greatly appreciated. Come on in, make yourself at home. This channel is for movie lovers and collectors of all types of genres and formats. Doesn't matter if your format is VHS, Laserdisc, DVD, Blu-ray, digital, 4K, 3D, Betamax, doesn't matter. You guys are all welcome here. Same with the genres. If horror's your thing, action, drama, sci-fi, fantasy, doesn't matter. If it's a good film, you guys are welcome here. This week takes me to Hamilton Book, online distributor for various type of books as well as DVDs, CDs, and Blu-ray and 4K. Also take a trip to Goodwill, find a couple interesting picks there. Found a out-of-print DVD that, in my opinion, killed this 80s actor's career. Some Scream Factory, Vinegar Syndrome 4K, just a whole cornucopia of bangers and goodness. But before I get into what I picked up at Hamilton Book and basically out in the wild, not only do I collect movies, yes, I'm one of these weird, wild individuals, actually watch them. And on a weekly basis, I like to share some of the things I've watched, either physical media, streaming on a Fire Stick, or live in the theaters with my family. And I'm going to kick it off with some physical media. This is the 2015 horror thriller Hangman. This was directed by Adam Mason, produced by Mary Church, written by Simon Boyce. This stars Jeremy Sisto, Kate Ashfield, Ryan Simpkins, Ty Simpkins, and Eric Michael Cole. And the plot behind this, you have a family returning from a vacation, the Millers. They find their home has been broken into. After cleaning up the mess, they continue with their lives, shaking off the feeling of being violated. But little do they know, the nightmare has just begun. And it's a low-budget independent film. It has a strong paranormal activity feeling. Maybe you've ever seen that movie Paranormal Activity, where they have the found footage. It's actually based on some real-life similarities. It's a little bit slow and drags in the beginning, but I say midway in the movie, it starts picking up a little bit. It keeps you engaged because you're trying to figure out the guy who's essentially invading these people's home. What's his motivation? Why is he doing this? That's the underlying question throughout the movie. It has a few gory scenes, but again, it's more creepy to know that someone's potentially following your every move. So if you like that paranormal activity vibe with some real life similarities that actually the movie pulled from, definitely check out Hangman. My next film, this is actually a 3D pick. This is the 1984 horror thriller 3D movie Silent Madness. This was directed by Simon Nechstern, produced by C. Gregory Earls, and written by Bob Zimmerman. This stars Belinda Montgomery, Vivica Linfors, Sally Marks, Sidney Lassick, and Dave Greenan. And this, you have a psychiatrist who poses as an ex-sorority sister to stop a slasher freed from a computer error. And this is the epitome of an 80s movie. It's a slasher movie, but with not all the gore you're going to find in a Friday the 13th or Halloween. Has the ultimate 80s feel with the big hairdos. You have the leading guy who has this Ted Danson, Sam Malone from Cheers hairdo. You have the girl in the 80s leotard workouts. The big thing was they have this game, Dragon's Lair, which was the first kind of animated video arcade games. So they showcase a lot of scenes from there, though. Surprisingly or not, the storyline is not that bad. It's cheesy in in a few spots, but it has a very nice twist at the end. As far as the 3D, very cool pop-outs. I equate this to some of the Kino Lorber 3D restoration movies. They have some great intentional pop-outs. You have a cattle prod that's coming at you. You have flying axes. So very cool 3D pop-outs. Great sense of depth. The audio is just okay. I was expecting maybe some more 80s music though, but overall, great job on the 3D restoration. Very decent 80s 3D slasher film. So if you like that kind of Kino Lorber, old school 3D, little cheese on top, definitely check out Silent Madness. My next film, something I was just digging in the crates, trying to figure out another horror movie to watch that maybe I haven't seen. This is the official line. The official title is Cirque du Freak, The Vampire's Assistant. I just put just labeled as The Vampire's Assistant. This was directed, produced, and written by Paul Weitz. This stars John C. Reilly, John Hutcherson, Chris Massaglia, Jessica Carlson, and Michael Cerveris. And with this plot, you have Darren Shan, regular teenage kid. He and his friend Steve find out about this freak show coming to their town and work hard to find tickets. They finally get the tickets, and together they go to the Cirque du Freak, where they see many strange acts, including a wolfman and a bearded lady. And besides the actors that I mentioned, you also have Salma Hayek in there, Orlando Jones, Frankie Faison, Willem Dafoe has a brief part in there. So you have some big names in here. The odd things about the movie, I thought it was very odd having John C. Reilly as kind of the leading man. He's more of the comic relief type. The movie has a strong Goosebumps feel. If you ever watched the made-for-television horror series Goosebumps, or even the Jack Black movie Goosebumps, it has kind of a preteen, young teenager feel to it. So it's not really scary though, but it's more fun type of horror. So if you like that Goosebumps kiddie type of horror, definitely check out Vampire's Assistant. My last film is something I actually watched on Netflix. This is a 2024 Philippine post-apocalyptic drama, Outside. This was directed by Carlo Ledesma, also written by Carlo Ledesma, produced by Paul Soriano and Mark Victor. This stars Sid Lucero, Beauty Gonzalez, Marco Massa, and Aiden Tyler Patdu. And the stories behind this is a family trying to outrun a zombie outbreak by returning to their father's childhood farmhouse. And the good about it though, it does a great job in the beginning in drawing you into the movie, especially with the trailers. You think it's more about the zombie and the zombie apocalypse. It actually turns out more about the father and the father wanting to protect his family in an almost obsessive type of behavior. The movie runs 2 hours and 22 minutes. I thought that was a little bit long because it actually drug in some parts, but it gives you time for the character development to actually happen. Again, I think all this could have been done in 2 hours though. The ending was interesting. Again, I wish it kind of focused more on the zombies though, but that wasn't the focus of the movie. The focus more with the father and his obsession with keeping the family safe. So the interesting movie. Wasn't what I expected though, but it's a decent watch. Now, without further ado, sit back, relax, have a drink of a smoke, and I'll catch you on the other end of this video. You enjoy my wife fixing this delicious fish. We're back at the Black Cave. Back at the Black Cave. We are back at the motherfucking Black Cave. Have my Goodwill pickup here. Have something I picked up from Cash America Pawn Shop. Have my Hamilton horror picks for the week. Have this classic Scream Factory and have this outstanding 3D pick. So let me get these scanned in and we'll jump right into it. Hold on. I want to jump into what I picked up at Goodwill. This is not a horror movie, but it can be considered horrific. In my opinion, this movie pretty much tanked this guy's career. What is his name? Thomas Howell? C. Thomas Howell. Soul Man. And essentially, this is basically blackface, which some people get away with it, some people can't. Perfect example, Robert Downey Jr. in Tropical Thunder. I think Tropical Thunder got away with a lot of questionable things. The blackface, the Ben Stiller playing the individual with mental limitations. It pretty much walked that fine line. Soul Man did. It crossed the line. I haven't seen this in years. I bought this, I think it's out of print, but just to see if I feel the same way that I did when I first saw it. Maybe I'm overreacting though, but again, I think this killed his career, rightfully so. It's probably a bad choice in his decision as far as taking this role. And this is a top 10 media release. I don't think you'll ever see this released on Blu-ray or anything else. I'll be shocked if you do. Soul Man. Next, and as you can see, $3 at Goodwill. Again, Goodwill's not the best pricing as far as thrift shopping though, but sometimes when I want something specific, and usually I'll look it up online to see what it is online, and I think it goes like $20 online, so it's a decent purchase. Next, what I picked up at Cash America, the jazz singer Neil Simon and Laurence Olivier, the 30th anniversary. And this is a anchor base, so it's out of print, and I don't believe this has an American release as of yet. Believe it or not, even though I'm a huge lover of hip-hop, R&B, pop music, I grew up listening to Neil Diamond. So where I grew up, we only had an AM station that played R&B. It didn't start until the sun came up, and it went when the sun, and it closed when the sun went down. So I grew up listening to a lot of diverse music, Carpenters, Beatles, besides hip-hop, pop, and music. So I haven't seen this, looking forward to watching this. And this is, again, Anchor Bay release, the jazz singer. Next, I had this on a multi-disc, I believe multi-set. I wanted the art cover for this. Believe it or not, I haven't seen this. This is during the period where there's a lot of I Hate Men type of movies out. So I haven't watched this yet though, but I love Angela Bassett. I love her. You have Whoopi Goldberg. You have Taye Diggs on here, who my wife really can't stand for some reason. She can't stand Taye Diggs. It's a 20th Century Fox release. How Stella Got Her Groove Back. Next, I have a bootleg copy of this. It's funny, as soon as I picked this up at the pawn shop, I realized that they just came out with a Blu-ray of this, but still, it's an upgrade from my bootleg that I have. If I find the Blu-ray at a decent price, I'll also pick this up. This Delirious is the one that really thrust Eddie Murphy into the stand-up comedian upper echelon. Next, I have Eddie Murphy's Raw. This is his second stand-up comedy routine, the first one being Delirious. Delirious kind of put him on the map. Raw pretty much thrust him into that upper echelon of stand-up comedians. He's a protege of Richard Pryor,
Red Fox, just a whole buttload of amazing comedians that came before him. Actually, when I got this, I have a bootleg copy of this. So I wanted to upgrade to a DVD. Didn't realize that a Blu-ray just came out. I'll wait on the Blu-ray. Hopefully, I can find that at a decent price also. And this was distributed by Paramount, which I should know. I think Eddie Murphy's done everything with Paramount up to, I think, Netflix, I believe. Not positive. Eddie Murphy's Raw. And the one Blu-ray that I picked up from Cash America was actually the one I was looking for. I need one more to complete the Predator franchise. That's the last one, Prey. I have Predator, Predator 2. I have the Alien vs. Predator ones. The one with Danny Trejo. So all I need is Prey, and that will complete the set. The way this one ended, I'm wondering if there's going to be another Predator movie extending on this one. Prey was actually a prequel to the whole franchise. So for these 4 movies, 3 DVDs, and 1 Blu-ray, I paid a whopping $3.76 with tax. So I'm still balling on a budget. Now let's go over to what I picked up at Hamilton Book. Start out with what I've already watched. And I mentioned this in one of my other videos as one of the videos I watched for the week, I believe. If not, I've mentioned it before. Existence. This is what's the director's name? David Cronenberg. If you're not familiar with the name, you're probably familiar with the movies. He's done Map to the Stars, which you're probably not that familiar with. But I'm trying to think of the one where people's heads are exploding. Scanners. He's done Scanners, Dead Ringers. He does very odd, almost eccentric type movies though, but they're very good. So this one was also very good. This is kind of dealing with virtual reality, kind of like a Matrix type of deal. Very good movie. I haven't seen this, definitely pick it up. This is actually the DVD and the Blu-ray, I think, out of print. So I wanted to get the Blu-ray. Hamilton Book had a pretty decent price for this, so I figured, hey, I'll go with the 4K. This is a Vinegar Syndrome release. Existence Z. Existence, I always have a problem saying that. Next, I know I mentioned this movie on one of the movies I watch. Very fun watch. This is a Shudder release. Yes, a Shudder release. Shudder has some fantastic mid to low budget movies. This is more of a comedic type of horror. It's kind of like Al Bundy meets Your Neighborhood Slasher, that kind of movie though. Very funny. Has some gory scenes to it also, but very fun watch. Again, this is Shudder release. Got the nice slip cover for you slip cover people. Next, I have the ABCs of Death 1, but I haven't seen this one. Let me get my Wesley Snipes. Hold on. Next, from Hamilton Book, we have the ABCs of Death 2. I have the first one. The first one is just a compilation of short stories where people are dying in a horrific and sometimes comical way. So it's tongue-in-cheek horror with gore. So hopefully this will be as good or better than the original. It's a magnet release. And the last thing I purchased from Hamilton Book, this and Existence Z 4K was a little bit pricey. You guys know I like to keep my prices down. Let me see if I can get my Wesley Snipes here, aka the Real Blade, my Billy Bob Thornton, my Sling Blade. Get you guys open here. And this is actually the second movie I got this, and it was on sale. It seemed like right after I got it, I think it dropped a few more dollars. And the Beyond the Door first one, I have in my save list on Amazon, trying to get the best price. Shock, Filmed by Mario Bava or Bava. I've seen this for a while. Looks very interesting, especially that. So if you've seen this, if you've seen the trilogy, leave it on the comment. Let me know if this is worth me getting the other two. And this is a Arrow release. I think the first one was like a Code Red. I think the third one might be another Arrow release. Shock Beyond the Door 2. And for these at Hamilton Book, I paid $5 for the ABCs of Death, $5 for Death Shack. Existence was a little pricey because it was a 4K. I think the 4K might be going out of print also. Then the Shock Beyond the Door at $15. So this is what I picked up at Hamilton Book. My horror pick for the week. Very fun. I believe this is 80s. When did this come out? I'm not sure. I think this is an 80s movie. Slither. Maybe it's 2000. Maybe it's a 2000 movie. But very fun. Kind of over the top horror picture. I guess it's 2006. Boy, time is just really starting to compress on itself. Nice little slip cover here. Scream Factory Slither. I don't know why I thought this was an 80s film. I guess because it just has that over-the-top 80s flair to it. Slither. Show you the back art real quick. And my last pick is my 3D pick for the week. The Best of 3D, Volume 4 and 6. If you just want to see eye-popping 3D, I mean stuff actually coming at you, Best of 3D, they have the best movies. This and Lichmond, Lichtmond, they have the best 3D movies. I believe this is Region A. The Lichmond, I think, are mostly Region B movies. But these are fantastic, so this will really bring out the pop-ups and the depth of your 3D television. And this is my weekly pickup. If you're familiar with the channel, this is where I separate the art from the plastic. Give me a few minutes. I'll get these guys situated and get you on your way. Hold on. I have everything scanned into my CLZ Movies app. C is in Cabin Fever, L is in Land of the Lost, Z is in Zodiac. Let's knock this out. I have everything laid out, ready to be put back in its proper place. As usual, I appreciate each and every one of you tuning in. If you made it this far, smash the like. Give me the big thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe. Leave some comments. Other than that, may the best of your past be the worst of your future. Everyone be safe. Deuces.